Hi, sisters. I've been married for 3 years, and I think my husband is either gay or bisexual. I can't really tell because he sleeps with men frequently. Let me state that I have nothing against the LGBT community, but this is not what I signed up for. Yes, I was desperate to find a man, bearing in mind that I had a child from a previous relationship where the biological father had denied responsibility, but this has been so hard on me. To make it worse, he told me he likes being the woman. To me, it sounded disgusting. Again, no offense to the LGBT community. Not once during our courtship days did he ask to have sex with me, and I thought that was cute, but I should have seen it coming. During the early days of our marriage, we had sex like once a week, but last year it was only once in a whole year. And that's when I told him I'd decided to move on. He tells me if it's sex I want, I can have a lover outside because he doesn't mind, but I'm not comfortable with that kind of arrangement either. I found out about his other side after he got sick, and I had to use the banking app on his phone to execute a transaction. His gallery was filled with several pictures of nude men. People say a lot about marriage, but this seems unfixable. I can't leave, and I've got no clue how to move on. Furthermore, I'm just a housewife. It appears some people were never born to be happy. Please help me. Claudia, coming to you.
This is a tough one. I mean, I had made my mind up earlier on until she said, I can't leave. Why can't she leave? Is it for economic reasons?
Yes, it sounds like.
Sounds like it.
Yes, because she said she's just a housewife.
But wasn't she eating and sleeping and surviving before she met this man?
Yeah.
Because unless they have kids, then you say, okay, you have additional mouths to feed.
Yeah, they have
but
a child.
If you are the only one, how are you surviving before you met this man? Why do we sometimes think that if we leave a person, we are just going to die? You see, she's not really thinking outside the box. She's just looking at this man that she's built her life around, who is not giving her any fulfilling life. And it's not really thinking, if she picks her bag to leave now, is she saying she'll be homeless, she'll go hungry, or she'll be suicidal? Because marriage is for reasons. It's for love. It's for companionship. It's for commitment, security, to have kids. She didn't mention that they have kids or they were trying to have kids.
They have a child. She has a child, actually.
She has a child.
She had it before she met the guy.
But so she was obviously surviving somehow with one child.
Yeah.
So what is complicated now? Maybe I'm missing a piece of the puzzle. But this man is not giving you love. He's not being honest. He's sleeping with other people behind your back. And for me, it's not even the sexuality. It's the act of infidelity. So unless we've agreed to be non-monogamous, to be open, if you decide to go and cheat on me, it's a deal breaker in marriage. Unless she's saying if he was cheating with women, should have stayed. But for me, I'm looking at it from the behavior that he's put up. This is a dishonest person. He wasn't honest about who he was sleeping with. He's keeping pictures of his adventures on his phone. He doesn't even care that you might even see it. So that's even disrespectful. And again, I repeat, is she upset because it's men or because of the acts? Because for me, she has to move on. There's nothing left in this marriage. You are not getting the love, maybe because of money, but then she needs to think and search within her network. How was she surviving before this man came into the picture? Once she survives, if she moves on, she should choose herself and her happiness. You were put on earth to enjoy life. Choose happiness. This man is not making you happy. If you stay with him for 20 years, you are never going to be a priority. So you have to choose yourself and move on with your child, because your child lives in this home without happiness. It affects the kids. Sometimes we assume or we are putting up appearances to keep the kids happy, but they are not that stupid. They feel the tension. They feel the quietness. They feel their stepfather is always gone. Their mom is always moody. It has an influence on the child. So I believe she should go. She would survive. People have moved on from worse experiences and built their lives from ground up. She just has to decide to put herself first, choose herself, and tell herself she can make it. There are people out there who would support her. But once she decides there are no options, she'll just sit there in her pity party for the rest of her life. He won't come back for you. So she needs to decide now and move on. The earlier, the better. It won't be easy. And I'm not downplaying the hardships that she's going to face because she's been in this bubble, this security zone for a very long time. Now she has to be on her own, probably get her own apartment and find a job. I don't even know her skill set. But staying in that marriage is not the answer for me. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Rosie, let me bring you let me bring it to you.
It's not easy, but first and foremost, I think that she came from a place of she was just willing to have any man
She wanted to get
because she felt like being or having a child out of wedlock or having one child as a baggage, quote unquote, she felt she wasn't marketable enough. So she just settled for anything and everything. And this guy too, he's not bio, he's gay.
Yeah.
And I think that he also found a desperate woman who wanted to settle and a woman who already has a child. So it's not an issue about, oh, I want a child, I want a child, I want a child. He's probably not interested in having kids or anything. So she fits the bill for him. So nobody can go accusing the woman that you are barren or you can't have babies. So that's sorted because so if anything at all, he is the one going to be blamed for not popping babies out of the wife. And he's okay because it's not really his thing. So this is just a phase for him. I'm imagining how I can be in the same house with a man, call him my husband, the whole year once. I'll be a walking mental case. I'm telling you. Yeah. I mean, I imagine I was with my husband and we have only once
for a year.
For a whole year. I was like once. And just once with a couple with no. This one, you can't say it anywhere.
It's not normal.
It's not normal. I'll be a walking. Look, look at my Rosie, how are you? I'm fine. Because I'm upset. My inside is upset. I don't have any happy thing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And you see, it's torture in itself. You're a woman looking for attention from your man, you're not getting it. Looking for the physical fulfillment from a man, you're not getting it. Intimacy, you're not getting it. And you are telling yourself that I can't leave. See, madam, you've decided to leave today. It doesn't mean you should leave today. I don't know why women cannot have a game plan towards their exit, like an exit strategy. So you're a housewife, no wahala. Start thinking out of the box, something you can do to earn money. Start asking him for some chop money or some block money every month for maintenance, because once he knows that he can't fulfill, he can't, fend for you as a wife, trust me, I'm sure he'll be willing to compensate you appropriately. Now that compensation he's willing to compensate you can go into savings, can go into looking for some other business venture, something you can do whilst you're at home and all of that. And the next thing you know, you have something at least that can feed you, your child, and pay rent for where you have to go. But this issue where as soon as you realize you have to head out, then you are walking out. No. Sometimes you have to plan the exit very well. Because I'm sure when you were marrying him, you were actually in love with him. Like you said, oh, I won't touch you. You feel like, look, some guy disrespected you and had a baby with you and he didn't even want to accept it.
That's it.
So you meet a man who says, I wouldn't touch you. It's like, oh my God, this is God's sense.
Yeah.
This is a man who doesn't want to take advantage of me. So you probably felt so deeply in love with him. You feel this is a man that respects me, for who I am. Only for you to know that, Charlie, you were just an excuse so that people don't talk too much about him. You are gay. I'm not gay. I have a wife. You understand? So I think that you need to, it's a process. You need to unlove him. You understand? You need to unlove him. And it's good that he's not touching you every time, because I don't think that you want somebody who is sleeping with men to be coming and be having a go at you too, because then it means that when it comes to diseases and stuff like that, you guys are just, moving it all around. So if he says he won't sleep with you for a year, you've been able to survive the 1 year, one project. I think that it wouldn't hurt to go another 1 year, one project. And within that time, build yourself up. And when you're concentrated on building yourself up, most likely you might not even feel like a whole year has passed without him touching you. Then when you feel that you're ready or you're somewhat ready, all you need is just a little bit of hope. then you step out, because your sanity is very important. Being at home, look, even knowing that your husband even is attracted to you and wants you, when your husband starts staying in town too much or spending time with other people too much, see the way you're even feeling some way, then this one, look, the torture, the men, I'm trying to imagine her thought process. So when you see your husband with other men, you are thinking, is he one of them? Is he one of them?
Yeah.
And he is a woman too.
Yeah. And even with you, he says he wants to be the woman.
So they collect down. No, wow. You see, this is serious.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that this is a lot of mental torture. It's nothing against the community, like she said. It's a matter of what you signed up for. If there are couples who are okay with arrangements like that, that's them. They are okay. But this marriage was based on, it was founded on a lot of lies and deceit. The man didn't come clean with her about what he really wants. I mean, the man could have told her that maybe probably I'm giving by, you understand? And let her come to terms with it so that at least she has an idea. But this keeping her on the blind side and then surprising her with this and, and all of that, I mean, it's a bit too much for her to handle. I don't think it's a marriage that's for the long term, but I think that she shouldn't make rash decisions and just step out. She should plan her exit properly.
Right. Jemima, what do you think?
When I read it, I thought, wow. The technical term is that she was a beard.
Right.
She was his beard. And she didn't know she was a beard. So basically, she went into this is not a marriage, it's a non-marriage, really, because it was based on an entirely false premise. And, I mean, given the kind of society that we're in, obviously, the man thought that or knew that he could not come out and be openly gay. So he needed a beard in the form of a woman who would be almost grateful, because I see almost a gratitude in what she's saying, that, I had a child from a previous relationship and the gentleman ignored me, but I found this man, almost like, this with him. Yes, he picked me of all the people. And, this is a bit of a side issue, but the way in which we see single mothers as well needs to be changed. Because you having a child, whether it was outside of wedlock, inside of wedlock, whatever, having a child and you're now single does not devalue you. It doesn't.
At all.
But as a society, that's how we think. So she thought, I've got one stain, I'm a born one. So anybody that would, have pity on me, and that would come, then, I'm just going to entertain them like that. And this gentleman, to you, as you said, you were also a convenience for him, because he didn't want somebody who's going to disturb him with children, wanted somebody who would be grateful, which you clearly were. And maybe you gave the impression that you were, so willing or desperate for marriage that, you'd kind of tolerate everything, because I believe, honestly, there are signs before that we don't want to admit, but, when we want something so bad, I think there's usually signs before, and maybe she didn't want to really, she wanted to think, I just want the ring, I want to be called Mrs. Some, I want to be there,
Probably even to prove a point to the guy who
waving to everybody saying, I'm also Mrs. and put the ink in the Mrs. Maybe that's what she wanted. And, unfortunately, it's ended up like that. Another thing that struck me was when she said she cannot leave. She has no clue how to leave. She says, yes, because I think it's economic.
Right,
I think it's purely economic. But now, in the days of these are smartphones, and you can do so many things. Build yourself up. If I know people that are doing online retail from the home, they're doing different forms of cooking, craft.
You can even shop for people. You can even shop for people and charge them for delivery.
Different things. So it's a case of maybe you've become accustomed to a certain life, but it's not a life that you're incapable of making for yourself. Right. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's sometimes the grafting is difficult, but believe me, rather than being in a completely loveless marriage, I say it's loveless because the gentleman said, if you want a lover, then you go ahead and satisfy yourself. As in, the man is not even,
he's not interested.
He's not interested. So basically, you've suffered for one whole year.
No, more than that.
They've been married 3 years.
No, I mean with the once a year.
Right.
The annual ritual. Annual ritual. You've suffered one whole year. The gentleman is unapologetic about it. And he is, not only is it unapologetic, he actually doesn't care about you at all. That, oh, if you want to go and find somebody on the side, hey, I would find that disrespectful, painful. Imagine your husband telling you, oh, okay, if he said, oh, you know what, it's only been a year. It's been a year since we got together. Come on. Oh, if that bothers you, you find somebody somewhere outside. I mean, come on. So I think on every level, the man has shown you that as for you, a big cross mark. He has what he wants. Let him go for what he wants.
Right.
You start your business, do something. Because you've not only got to look after yourself, you've got to look after your child. And yeah, I think she will be fine. Also as well, I think psychologically, she might need some form of counseling or therapy or something, because I think she's in a state where she herself feels devalued. She felt devalued before marrying this gentleman.
But now she's gone further down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it can lead, these things lead to depression, which, you know, many people go through. So I think she needs to think of her sanity and think of her son and herself, because
okay, so hold on. So her first man in her life took advantage of her, had a baby with her, and says, I'm not the father. And the second man in her life says, me, I won't touch you. I've married you, but I don't feel like touching you. Can go and Charlie, why? It's like two and two.
Yeah, that's why she's saying it appears some people were never born to be happy.
Yeah, so it's a psychological state to be in. And all I'll say is that's why, you see, but the thing is, sometimes you can never really know how long dating or how long a period of dating is enough to get to know someone. Because when it comes to love, some people are falling in love with each other for 2 weeks and it's worked.
Yes.
Their marriage is happy. Some two have been dating for 10 years before they got married, and they are in all manner of, you know. So I think that, but it's important that, like, you know, not only do we date, but we really look at some of these red flags with an objective eye. Because when you look at these red flags with a loving eye, then it becomes an excuse. So I'm sure the whole time she was doing, all the guys, he was like, oh, hey, maybe not boys, pal. He's always doing boys. But trust me, the boys doesn't end at just grabbing a beer and, you know, having a beer. It goes way beyond that. But you probably didn't know what to think about it. It's like, oh, he's just doing boy. Hey, my boy, he doesn't like women. No, doesn't like women. He's so chaste. He's so...
Plus, you're thinking you're born one. So
yeah, you're thinking about one. So you're not even looking out for the red flags. Your thing is a man who is willing to accept me and my husband, me and my son as, you know, his own, who is willing to, you know, accept me in front of everybody else and call me Mrs. I can get to wear the ring and, you know, flash it all over the place, especially in this day and age where people think that once you wear a ring, you have arrived.
They have self-esteem issues.
Yes. You're right. So I think that already she had self-esteem issues, and the fact that, look, as a woman, see, if you're a woman and a man that you love does not desire you, I don't know how much it would break you. It would break you. So when I'm home naked, crash say, hey, oh, hey, like, so you go and buy lingerie, no see anything. Slow down.
Really tough place to be.
Yeah, it is. But you can leave.
Yeah, to be honest, I feel for this lady, and I kind of understand her immediate, should I say, exasperation, for want of a better word, feeling helpless, like, you know, I'm a housewife, I have nothing to do, but the ladies have spelled it out clearly. Maybe immediately you feel like you can't leave, but put that strategy in place and start working your way out of that relationship or that marriage. It's not a marriage. You have nothing there. The guy's made it clear that he does not want you. He's even suggested you should find someone else. That is not a way to live. And definitely you deserve happiness, and you can find happiness. I believe that strongly. So don't settle for less. This guy is up to no good, and he's just going to let you die before your time if you stay. Okay?